Hello, my friends. This is the video that I made on Alibaba just several days ago, to be precise, on December the 8th of this year, when the price of this asset was, as you can see right here, at $158.32. And I told you that this asset was forming a pattern, some kind of triangle pattern, symmetrical triangle. And depending on the breakout out of this pattern, we could anticipate either retest of this bottom at $147.29 if this asset breaks the level of support, or it could retest the level of roughly $168 if it breaks this range of resistance to the upside. And guys, take a look right here. We were at this point and we had a breakout out of this formation to the downside, as you can see right here. Despite the fact that it had an attempt to hit higher targets, it was rejected, and for now it is retesting, exactly retesting this bottom. And I told you that it should happen if it breaks this triangle to the downside. And this is another evidence of the power of technical analysis. And if you want to know more about technical analysis, if you want to enhance your trading skills and have a pretty much consistent calls to trade with the 100% money back guarantee, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel and join my Patreon account. And guys, you've seen many of my trade calls, all delivering strong returns in just hours. Now it's your turn to trade smarter. Join my safe haven Patreon tier, built for traders who want consistency, structure, and real results. You will get a detailed plan to protect your portfolio, monthly one-on-one Zoom sessions with me, and private Discord access with all trade alerts, lessons, and exclusive updates. And here is the best part. If you don't earn more than your subscription price within 30 days, you will receive a full refund, no question asked, as long as your trading account balance is at least $2,500 and you've taken all the recommended trades during the period. No excuses, no fine print. You profit or you don't pay. Here are just a few of my trade results from the first half of October. But don't wait, this offer is available for a limited time only. Once the spots are filled, enrollment will close. Join today and let's start building your edge in the market.
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gonna live it up.
So guys, and let's begin with some fundamentals. First of all, let's take a look at the general sentiment related to Baba stock. If you type in Google search bar Baba stock and switch to news tab folder, you will find several recent news, and I want to pay attention to just a couple of them. First of all, this one. It is the general sentiment for the entire Chinese market. You can see that Alibaba, JD, Baidu shares fall. Why new data is raising concerns about China's economy. And in general, guys, you know that the relationships, the China and US relationships are not at its best shape, and we still have a lot of concerns about these upcoming tensions. But at the same time, guys, the Chinese economy might have not the best future because of its macroeconomic data, and that is why for now JD, Baidu, and Alibaba went lower for the last couple of I would say weeks, and this movement is not only related to Alibaba's fundamentals, but it is related to the broader Chinese market sentiment. And let me show you the news that is directly related to Alibaba. Here is the article that was published on ts2.tech, and it was published just yesterday, and it's titled Alibaba Stock Today Price, Latest News, Analyst Forecasts and 2026 Outlook as AI Spending Accelerates. And I want to pay attention to several parts of this article. It is very interesting and, to be honest, quite thoroughly written article. Here is the data of the Alibaba AI spendings. Alibaba has been telling the market loudly that AI is not a side quest. The company has previously said it plans to invest at least $52.44 billion over 3 years into cloud computing and AI infrastructure. That spending plan is a double-sided sword for the stock. Bull case: scale AI infrastructure, win cloud workloads, monetize models, and pull more commerce into Alibaba's ecosystem. Bear case: capex, capital expenditures ramps faster than monetization, squeezing margins while competition stays brutal. And yes, guys, we know that a lot of major companies on the market are trying to pursue this goal of AI, let's say, dominance, or at least partially. They want to partially dominate on this market. And Alibaba is not an exception. It is one of the main players of the Chinese market on this field. And yes, there is a lot of capital expenditures should be made in order to be in the first rows, basically in order to be the winners of this race, but it is definitely extremely costly procedures. And let me show you another quite interesting update. The Nvidia H200 green light is a major near-term catalyst and a geopolitical stress test. One of the biggest moving pieces for Alibaba stock in mid-December is not an Alibaba product launch, it's chips. Reuters reported that ByteDance and Alibaba have asked Nvidia about buying its H200 AI chip after US President Donald Trump said the US would allow exports of the H200, not 2000, but H200 to China. The same report said the H200 is nearly 6 times as powerful as the previously export-eligible H20, and noted Chinese firms were seeking clarity on supply and still needed Beijing's approval. And guys, you know that Chinese stocks are extremely high regulated stocks, and Chinese Communist Party can dominate basically in each and every sector of its economy, and they have the right to make some rules that are impossible in the US stock market, for example, but that is acceptable for Chinese stocks and for Chinese companies. That is why it is very difficult to project in the long-term perspective what type of support or what type of obstacles Chinese Communist Party might make on the path of the development of certain companies. That is why it is, I would say, more risky to project its long-term targets. But in the short-term perspective, I believe Alibaba is on a good path. It is in its bull run for, I believe, quite a while, and this movement will continue right after we will see the end of the retracement that started a couple of weeks ago. So let me show you another quite interesting update. This is the list of institutional investors, and first of all, I want to pay attention to this chart again. You can see that, on my previous video, I showed you that we had the first signs of higher level of institutional investors who hold Alibaba stock in their investment portfolios. But to be more certain, I prefer to see more substantial increase in this number, and I prefer to see several bars in a row, which will indicate that more and more institutional investors are buying Alibaba stock and they want to hold it in their investment portfolios. But for now, the most recent activity in this list are not so bullish. As you can see, CTC LLC reduced its position on Alibaba by 57%, but they still hold about $43 million in value in Alibaba, and they pretty much drastically reduced its hedge position with put and call options by 99 more than 99%. And other companies reduced their holdings substantially. Even JP Morgan reduced, and I covered it in my previous video, its stake in Alibaba by 15%, but they still hold more than $3 billion in Alibaba. This means, guys, consolidation is still on the table, and that is why you have to be cautious with any of your positions on Alibaba. So let's continue with the technical analysis, but before we dive deep right here, please subscribe to my channel, hit notification bell and hit the like button. This helps me a lot. So guys, on a bigger scale, this asset is still in uptrend as long as it doesn't break this bottom of $103, and as long as this sloping line, the range of support, holds. Definitely it is it is quite deep movement, potential deep movement to invalidate its bull count, and it might bring more than 34%, more than 33% of potential losses from the current prices. But still, Alibaba is in uptrend, and we have to see at least a reaction to the upside that will be potentially the beginning of the fifth wave. And on top of that, I want to pay attention that this asset is retesting $150 mark, and let me show you a tip that will help you to project its potential movement. Here is the 9988 ticker symbol, and as you can see, it is the same ticker symbol but on the Hong Kong Stock Exchange, and Hong Kong market is open, but on today's session Alibaba is down by more than 3%. And in general, guys, you can see that it is forming some kind of falling bullish wedge, and usually these patterns break to the upside, and if this line, this level of support holds, if it doesn't break it to the downside, substantially break it to the downside, we might see the retest of this upper border of this range of resistance, and we might see a breakout to the upside that will be the beginning. Let's switch again to Alibaba on the New York Stock Exchange. That will be the beginning of this fifth wave, and that will be the top of the third wave on a bigger scale. So, and this purple line indicates the potential path of the stock. We are forming several internal waves inside this third wave, from this bottom to this potential top, and we have to see another retracement right after this top is formed, and another leg to the upside that potentially will hit the levels highly above $220, $230. But so far, guys, we have to see the end of this retracement, and let me show you in details that this asset is forming some kind of double bottom pattern at $150 mark, and if it has a bounce out of this range, that for now I have a lot of doubts about this, but if it happens, we might anticipate the beginning of its movement to the upside. But if it breaks to the downside, guys, let me connect these bottoms with the same level of support. It shouldn't break this range of support in order to remain at least partially bullish. And be cautious with any of your positions. We have to see more confirmation of its potential uptrend, but the uptrend, in my opinion, is inevitable for Alibaba. That is why stay tuned and wait for, and see you in the next video. Bye.
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gonna live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad, I just wanna get caught up in